Hello to all my credit repair followers and all my Facebook friends. This is your boy, this is your friend, Angelo McCutcheon, coming to you again with another Facebook Live video. We got some very important news that we're going to talk to you about in reference to the credit bureaus, because you know, as a credit doctor, I'm always keeping an eye out for all of you guys who are trying to get your credit repaired and trying to get your credit fixed, and you don't know exactly how to do it, or you don't know how to deal with the credit bureaus. Well, being in this business for over 10 years now, I definitely know how to deal with them, and I'm always up on the current news of what's going on and how this news will affect you who are trying to clean up your credit. So we got some news hot off the press from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and that's the company, that's a government agency that looks over the credit bureaus, debt collectors, and original creditors to make sure that they are accurately, I think I'm saying the word right, reporting things on your credit report. Make sure things are 100% accurate. And they're the watchdog group, so to speak, to make sure, you know, because they know how bad these people are, and they know the deceptive practices that they use to keep you with bad credit, or they say they're verifying certain information that they're really not verifying. And so the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau came out with a report today. And I said, you know what? I got to let my people know what's going on. I'm going to talk about it on my radio broadcast on Monday for all my viewers across the country. But I want to talk to you guys first here, my Facebook followers and friends, so you'll know what's going on and how this will apply to you. So make sure, again, if you like what we're saying, that you hit me with the hearts up, you hit me with the likes, the thumbs up, the hearts, and you make sure you like and share this video so your friends can get the same information, okay? Now, for immediate release, this just came out today, or it finally just came out today, March 23rd, 2017, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau fines Experian $3 million for deceiving consumers and marketing credit scores. Yes, Experian, which is the biggest of the three credit bureaus, which has its base in California, but its major company is in the UK. You know, their parent major company is UK, but they have a local base company here in the United States, which is in California. Right? They have been fined by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is part of the government that oversees, or the watchdog group that oversees the credit bureaus, the debt collectors, and the original creditors, even credit repair people as well. But they came out, thank you for the thumbs up, they came out with this thing today. I printed it right out once I saw it. They fined Experian $3 million. Why? For I'm going to read exactly what they're saying. For deceiving consumers and marketing credit scores, right? So what is this thing about the credit scores that they have been marketing, right? And at the end, I'm going to show you how this actually is going to help you who are helping getting your credit cleaned up, or if you're in the process of wanting to get your credit cleaned up, you need to contact me now, because we're going to use this information to get some things off your credit report. Now is the time. Now, I bring you this information because I want you to be educated, right? So let me read a little bit about what it's saying. Again, this is from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which fined Experian $3 million for deceiving consumers and marketing credit scores. And this is what they say. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau today took action against Experian and its and its parent companies for deceiving consumers about the use of credit scores it sold to consumers. Experian claimed that credit scores it marketed and provided to consumers were used by lenders to make credit decisions. In fact, lenders did not use Experian scores to make those decisions. The CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, I'm just shortening it up using the letters, ordered Experian to truthfully represent how its credit scores are used. And because of their, being found guilty in this area, Experian must also pay a civil penalty of $3 million. Now listen, all of you guys who've ever came to my workshops that I've talked about, and if you can remember, I always tell you that every year, the credit bureaus basically put money aside, millions of dollars aside, for all the lawsuits that they're going to get hit with because of their deceptive practices and unfair practices. Well, here's one of those instances, because remember, they make billions of dollars a year. Just keep that in mind now. These credit bureaus make billions of dollars a year. So here again is where they're being hit because they've been caught with their hand in a cookie jar, lying to the consumers, selling them their credit scores, telling them that the credit scores that you get from Experian is going to be the same ones that the lenders look at, which is in fact not true. The lenders don't base your credit score on Experian's score. I mean, it gets kind of complicated because it is based on the information in your credit report, but they don't use Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax model to come up with your scores. Again, the lenders go to FICO. Lenders always go to FICO to get your credit scores. Yeah. Fair Isaac, company. Corporation, I should say. All right. So Experian got their hands caught in a cookie jar, saying that, listen, if you get out your credit scores from us, if you pay for your credit scores from us, it's going to be the same ones that the lenders are going to look at. And in fact, that was not true. And because of that, they have to pay $3 million to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Let me read a little bit more. This is what they came out with. Experian deceived consumers over how the credit scores it marketed and sold were used by lenders, said the director of the CFPB, Richard Cordray. Consumers deserve and should expect honest and accurate information about their credit scores, which are central to their financial lives. Now, because we know credit is everything today, and if they're giving you wrong scores and you're thinking your score is this, but in reality your score is that, now you're thinking that you can't get certain things because your credit score, what they're telling you is this low. When in fact, it could actually be higher than what you think. That's why I tell those who have Credit Karma, Credit.com, right, that it's good to have because it's free, but you also got to understand that it's not the most accurate thing to have. They can be off by as much as 100 points. It's just good to have the follower, because if you get that, if you get the one that they have up to the 700s, then you can almost bet that you're really in the 800s. Right, because they're off like that. I keep my Credit Karma, Credit.com, but I also understand that they're not always accurate, and that they can be off by as much as 100 points. But what I always tell people don't do is don't go to the credit bureaus and buy your credit score, because it's really a waste of time. Whatever score that you pay for is not going to be the ones the lenders are looking at. So they may say your score is 700. But when the lenders look at it, it may be 650 or it may be 800. Because they don't look at the one that they give you. They have the FICO, Fair Isaac Corporation, has their own model and way of scoring based on your credit reports what your credit score is going to be. So lenders, whether it be mortgage companies, whether it be cars, whether it be banks, whether it be credit card companies, they don't go by Experian itself. They go by what FICO has about you. And the problem is that, again, Experian was telling people, if you buy it from us, you're going to see the same ones that the lenders look at. And that was not true. So let's read a little bit more. Experian, which is based in Costa Mesa, California, is one of the nation's 3 largest credit reporting agencies. Experian markets, advertise, sells, offers, and provide credit scores credit reports, credit monitoring, and other related products to consumers and third parties. Credit scores are credit scores summarizes and are designed to predict consumers' payment behavior and using credit. Many lenders and other commercial users consider these scores when deciding whether to extend credit. No single credit score or credit scoring module is used by every lender. That's important. Let me read that again. Let me underline that. No single credit score or credit scoring module is used by every lender. In addition to the credit scores that are actually used by lenders, several companies have developed so-called educational credit scores, which lenders basically don't even use. These scores are intended to inform the consumers. So once again, for those of you who are just joining, hot off the press, I got this because I'm always checking. I told you I'm the watchdog for you people. I'm always checking on what's going on. Well, it just came out today that Experian, which is the biggest credit agency out there, has been fined $3 million by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau because they were deceiving people about their credit scores and having people buy their credit scores from them, telling them that the scores that they get from Experian will be the same ones that the lenders get. And they were lying to the people for all these years, and they got caught. And now they have been fined, not only fined, but they've told that they got to stop telling people, that their scores are the same as the ones that the lenders look at. So I'm just reporting the news. Okay? Now let me read on a little bit more. And again, so all you guys logging on, coming on, we got to spread this word. So make sure you like and share this video so your friends can get this information. Because I'm going to tell you at the end how this is going to help you when it comes to repairing and fixing your credit. Because now we have something that we can use against them that the government already defined and said that they were wrong for. All right? Let me read on. So when it talks about Experian, it says, Experian developed its own proprietary credit scoring module referred to as the Plus Score. So if you've ever been on the Experian's website, they're always talking about something called the Plus Score. And it's that Plus Score that they're always telling you it's the same as you get their Plus Score, you pay for their Plus Score, it's going to be the same one that the lenders look at. And that's a lie. Outright lie. God bless you, Overseer Spencer Wright, my brother Riz, Linda, Vincent, all you guys that are logging on. We're just sharing some important information out here because I believe this is valuable in a time when the report came out that says half of Americans. There was a report that let me put it like this. Last year, I read a report that came out in 2015 that said over 50% of Americans live with bad debt. And that's having a score of 650 and lower. Over 50%. It was like 56, 57, whatever, percent of Americans live with bad credit. Now, and they feel that they can't do anything about it. Well, one of the reasons why that happens is because unfair practices done by the credit bureaus. Experian got caught this time, but there was a time last year where Equifax was sued and TransUnion was sued one time. They all had their hand in a cookie jar for different reasons, right? And this is why I keep telling you, we can't. This is why we challenge the information on people's credit report, because if they lied about this, what else are they lying about when it comes to what's on your credit report? That's why I stopped telling people. I always tell people, stop saying, well, it's on my credit report. I know I had this. I know I had this debt, so I know I got to pay it. Stop saying that. They want you to say that. The fact of the matter is the government said whatever they put on your credit report has to be 100% accurate. And here we find out they were lying to you about the credit scores, so that wasn't accurate. What else are they lying to you about? Let me read on a little bit more. And if you have any questions, type it in. I'll be glad to answer it. The plus score, which is Experian's name for their giving out the credit scores, is an educational credit score and is not used by lenders for credit decisions. And this went on from at least 2012 through 2014, 15, that they were misleading people and causing people to think that they didn't have, or their score wasn't as good as that they were portraying. And remember, I told you guys, when I say I told you guys, I mean those of you who come to my workshop and on my listen to my radio show, listen to my Facebook Live, I've been telling you guys consistently that these credit bureaus are constantly violating your rights. And there is something that you can do about it. You don't have to live with bad debt. There is something you can do about it, but you have to make the first step by getting your credit reports. You have to make the first step. Now, again, we're reading about Experian. And to those of you who are still coming on, logging on, I appreciate it. And you're logging on in the middle, I'm sharing some very important information that came straight off the press from the government's website. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau just came out with this report and said that Experian, which is the biggest of the three credit bureaus, was just fined $3 million for lying about the credit scores that they were selling the consumers. And so now they got to pay a fine. They got to start, correcting the mistakes that they made, and a lot of other things. But I'm just harking on the fines that they got to pay. And again, $3 million to them is not a lot because they're making billions. They're making billions. But the fact of the matter is, how this helps you is if you decide to get your credit clean, or if you're in the process of getting your credit clean, we're going to use this information to help get some things removed from your credit report. So if you have not yet reached out to me about cleaning up your credit, now is the perfect time, because we're going to write some letters for our clients and we're going to deal with that. We're going to get from under Experian's deceptive practices, because now we have law. We have law to lean on that shows their conviction and the things that they're doing. And so why not jump on that? Why not use that to our advantage? My mindset already thinking the type of letters I'm going to start writing on behalf of my clients, past, present, and future, to continue to get those things off the credit report. So let me just read some other things that the government came out and said. So it says, Experian also, listen to this, because this is something I'm always talking about, also violated the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which I know most of you don't know what the Fair Credit Reporting Act, but the Fair Credit Reporting Act, it's a law that the government came up with that basically said this is what consumers can do, this is what consumers can't do, this is what the creditors can do, debt collectors, the credit bureau, this is what they can do, and this is what they can't do. So when it said that they violated the Fair Credit Reporting Act, those things that they were not supposed to be doing, they were found guilty of doing. So just because they say, I got so much I want to talk about, but I know I don't have enough time to talk about everything. But I'm just so excited every time I see them getting caught with their, hands in a cookie jar, because it just validates everything I've been saying and preaching and talking about when it comes to the credit bureau. And I know sometimes people may not believe me or not trust that thing, but listen, I always like to back it up because the government always backs it up. Okay. So Experian also, I'm just continue to read, Experian also violated the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which requires a credit reporting company to provide a free credit report once every 12 months and to operate a central source, which is, of course, those of you who've been to me, the annualcreditreport.com, where consumers can obtain their report. Until March of 2014, consumers getting their report through Experian had to view Experian's advertisement before they got their report. This violates the Fair Credit Reporting Act, prohibition of such advertising tactics. So what they were saying is, the government said, listen, every consumer has the right to get a free copy of all 3 of their credit reports once every 12 months. Means if you get it this month, you can't get it from that particular site until 12 months later or next year around this time, right? But what was happening was people who were trying to go to their website and get it either couldn't get it, with some things I've been dealing with some of my clients when I try to get their credit report. Experian always seemed the one that tried to give us a problem. And now I know why, because their hand was in the cookie jar and we're going to use that. Or 2, they were actually, when you went to their website to try to get your free report, they were giving you advertisements first. They were trying to sell you on some of their other products before they were letting you get your free credit report. And that's a violation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Okay, so the enforcement. So under the Dodd-Frank and Consumer Protection Act, the CFPB, name of the company, is authorized to take action against institutions engaged in unfair, deceptive, or abusive acts or practices, or that otherwise violate federal consumer financial laws under the consent order. So because Experian got their hands caught in the cookie jar, lying to the consumer about what they were selling them, what they were trying to give to them, 1, they have to pay $3 million, a penalty. Well, let me just read it. Experian must pay a civil money penalty of $3 million to the Bureau's City Penalty Fund, which goes, they put that money in let's say in a jar in a fund, and that money is used, by the Consumer Protection Bureau to continue to be the watchdog and that is to look after all of these credit bureaus and all these other stuff. And sometimes that money gets trickled down to the consumer. Actually, you never know if you have money coming or anything like that. You may get some things in the mail that you may say, well, since you bought that from Experian, we're going to offer you a free year of our service, free service of Credit Watch or whatever it may be. Or you may be getting checks, small amount because there's a lot of people. All right. So who knows? We're not sure. But they have to pay a penalty of $3 million. Second, Experian must inform consumers about the nature of the scores it sells to the consumers. So they got to stop lying to you and let you know that if you buy your credit score from us, it may not be the same one that the lenders get. Most likely it's not going to be the same ones that the lenders get. And we're going to give it to you. It's really an educational score, which means it may not be the exact score that the lenders will give you. Most likely it's not going to be the exact score. But they have to let you know that. Third, Experian must develop and implement a plan to make sure its advertising practices relating to credit scores and on the internet web pages that consumers access through the annual creditreport.com comply with federal consumer laws and the terms of the CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, consent order. Now, so they got their hands caught in the cookie jar. How does that help you out? Well, as a credit repair person who has, I have my own company, to those, the Faithful Credit Group, LLC. And we've been helping people repair their credit for years and years. And we have a lot of clients still working on some, but we're gaining new clients on a daily basis. And so I just want you guys to know that if you haven't, or if your credit isn't that good, now is the time that you want to reach out to my company, because we're going to use this information to help clean up your credit even more. To those of you who are already clients, yes, we're going to use this information to get some of those tough things that Experian was trying to hold on to. Now we're really going to get those things removed. Yes, and I always tell my clients, clean up your credit is not an overnight process. It does take time and patience, but if you have the time, you have the patience, guess what? It's going to benefit you up the road, because if you plan on buying a house, buying a new car, get a loan, get some credit cards for your business, right? We're going to put you in a position where you can get that with a low interest rate. That's what we're going to do. And I keep telling you guys, when we're dealing with Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, they do not play fair. They do not do it really what they're supposed to do when it comes to verifying information. They are constantly lying and deceiving the consumer about them doing what they, what the law said they're supposed to do, which they're really not doing. And that's why they're always getting caught down the road. And not just them, but you have debt collectors who are getting caught constantly. Portfolio Services was fined by the CFPB one time. Pressler & Pressler was fined and had to pay, I think it was close to $11 million or something like that. It was fined. It was also fined. And we can go on. Midland Funding, I believe, was fined one time. I mean, constantly, because these people practice or don't really practice the way that the law said they're supposed to do it. And they're always trying to deceive and get you to pay things that you really shouldn't be paying. Or they're putting things on your credit report that should not be. They're taking half-truths and adding lies to it. And because they're adding lies, remember the law says whatever they put on your credit report has to be 100% accurate. God bless you, overseer. Please send your credit report to me. I'm ready to start working on it and getting you freed up so you can become a great testimony down there in Atlanta, Georgia. But listen, they're constantly lying. They're constantly putting out these false information. So they take truth and then they'll mix it with a lie. And so therefore, it's all a lie according to the law, because the law says everything they put on there has to be 100% accurate. They can't put 50% accurate and 50% untruth on your credit report, which we find out they do a lot. And so you'll look at it and be like, well, you know what? It's half right because I do owe Capital One. But then the other half, I didn't open up this account this year, or my credit wasn't, my limit wasn't that much, or I wasn't late that many times. And so we look at the whole picture. When we help our clients, we look at the whole picture. It's just not good enough for us for you to tell us that, yeah, I did have that account. No, we want to make sure that everything is reporting accurate. If everything is reporting accurate, fine, then pay the bill. But 9 out of 10 times, being in this business, they're not doing that. And I told you, they know they're not doing that. That's why every year they put a certain amount of money, millions of dollars aside for lawsuits, because they know they're going to get caught. It's just a matter of when. And so they have the money to pay it. And if they have the money to pay it, guess what? Then you ought to get that money. Because for every violation that we find on people's credit report, and my lawyer is always working and looking for violations because we still see it a lot. But for every violation that we catch them in, our client gets $1,000 for every violation on their credit report. Now, everything may not be a violation, but we do find violations, things that they should not be saying, things that they should not be putting in your letter, things that they should not be putting on your credit report. And if they don't fix it, then the lawyer connected to my company will sue them on behalf of the client. And once they get sued, of course, they'll always settle out of court and they'll pay the $1,000 fine, which is an advantage to you. Get that money. Get that money. So you need to be calling us. I just wanted to share this with you tonight. Please like and share the video. Let's get the word out that Experian got their hands caught in the cookie jar and now got to pay $3 million worth of fines. And we're going to use this information to help clean up some things on people's credit report. Like I said, it's not an overnight fix, but we're going to keep using it until we get it all cleaned up. So if you have not reached out to us before, please call me at 862-220-2948 for a free consultation. No matter what state you're in, you can call us, and we'll, if you're out of state, we'll give you a free phone consultation. If you're in the Paterson, New Jersey area, anywhere in the New Jersey area, call us, and we can schedule your appointment at our offices. And you can come. We'll give you a free consultation. If you like what we say and what we do, then we can go forward to having you become a client of ours. But now is the time. And again, I'm going to close with this message. Hot off the press, news just came out. And as the watchdog for the people, and when it comes to the credit information, Experian, which is the biggest credit of the 3 credit bureaus, got their hand caught in the cookie jar. And now they have to pay $3 million worth of fines to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, among many other things. God bless you, Pastor Myers. You are the man for sure. I pray one day that you up in this area, you got to come and minister to us. You are the man. But what I'm saying is, and they got caught, they got to pay $3 million worth of fines, they got to make some corrections. And how is that going to help you to repair your credit? Because we're going to use that information to get negative things off your credit report. Because if they lied about these things, your credit scores, saying that your scores that you were getting were the same ones that the lenders were looking at, that is so not true. And the government said they lied straight out. And because they lied to the consumer, they got to pay this money. But my thing is, and I've been saying this for years, if they lied about this, what else are they lying about on your credit report? They always take half truths and mix it with lies. So they'll say, yes, you did have an account with Capital One or First Premier or Sears or Target, but then they add a lot of false truth about when it was open, how long it was open, dates of late payment, account numbers, and they can't do that. The law says they can't do that. But you don't know because all you say is, you know what, I did have an account with Sears, or I did have an account with Capital One, so everything they say must be true because I did have an account. I know I do owe the money. But that's not what the law is saying. And so we freed a lot of people. I most certainly will, Pastor Myers, I most certainly will. We freed a lot of people from under credit bondage just using what the law said their rights are. If you want to go and check out our testimonial page, go to www.creditrepair64, the number 6, the number 4.com. Go to our testimonials. That's my website. You can go to our testimonials. Just lead to some of the people that we've helped. Just a small amount. But we've been on this, and I really believe that God gifted me and blessed me in this area to help free a lot of people from under financial bondage. And that's just one of the areas that we deal with, because we know credit is important. Credit is everything. And if your credit is jacked up, how are you going to be able, to reach a lot of your financial goals? How are you going to be able to leave a legacy for your children? The Bible teaches us that we ought to establish a generation of wealth for our children's children. But how are we going to do that if we can't even get from under the bondage that we are now? And so I believe God has allowed me to go down this road to be able to help so many people. So call us at 862-220-2948, the Faithful Credit Group, LLC, located in the city of Paterson, New Jersey. And, we'll be glad to give you a free consultation over the phone, or if you're in the Paterson, New Jersey area, come meet us at our office, and we can get the process started, get you going on the road to recovery. Remember, I was my first client. When I first got into this business, and I'm going to say this, and I got to go because I'm getting hungry and it's time for me to eat. All right? But listen, I was my first client. When I first got into this over 10 years ago, I had scores in the low 400s because no one educated me about the importance of credit. Unfortunately, in my home, we didn't do that. In the schools, they didn't teach us that. And even in the church, they didn't teach me that. I learned about paying tithes, and I believe in tithes. But no one told me how to manage the other 90%. I paid the 10, but nobody told me how to manage the other 90, and I messed it up. And when I finally got serious about it, it looked like it was too late because I couldn't get anything because I had horrible credit. But then I was able to educate myself in this process of what the law said, what we can do and what we can't do, what creditors can do, what they can't do. And for a year and a half, I researched, studied, and found out what my rights were, and I applied that to my situation. And in the course of, because I had like 15 or 18 negative things, I'm very transparent when it comes to, I'm just not telling you to clean up your credit. I'm very transparent. I had horrible credit, 15 or 18 negative things on all 3 of my credit reports. And I ain't afraid to talk about it. But in 2 years' time, after learning what my rights were, I got them all deleted. And I watched all my scores go from the low 400 to the 800 plus. And I didn't pay not one bill in there. I just used what the law said. And so that started my mission. I believe God gave me that. It could become a passion of mine to say, well, wait a minute. If these laws are out there and I'm able to help people, why not bring them this education? So I just really wanted to drop that on you. I'm just so excited because every time that I see these credit bureaus, these debt collectors get caught by the government, and fined, it lets me know that I'm on the right path to helping people recover their finances. So thank you for listening to me. Again, like and share the video so your friends, your neighbors can get this information. And of course, if anyone's interested in getting their credit repaired, just call me at 862-220-2948, or you can just go to my email. You can inbox me your information on my Facebook page, or you can go to my email, which is creditrepair64@gmail.com. Creditrepair64, the number 6 and the number 4, at gmail.com. Yeah, Pastor, I feel the anointing too. That's why I wanted to take like 5-10 minutes, but I find myself still talking about it, because I believe somebody is receiving this and someone's getting this, right? And it's all about helping people understand. So we're gonna go. You guys hook me up, hit me up, inbox me, and all that good stuff. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have a blessed day.